Hello and welcome back to another video. Today, back into the R32 and we're going to build a bit of a steering lock kit. So down here, if I can get there, we have got everything. So 2 LCAs, 2 knuckles and a cross member. And basically I'm just going to talk my way through what's involved in making a steering kit. Well, extra angle kit. Going to go through a few of the details, so if you want to you can do it at home. If you don't understand, you probably shouldn't be doing it at home. But yeah, show you what I do to make it and hopefully show you the end result on the car, if all goes well that is. But before we get into it, let's get this Ferrari out of the way and show you guys what to do. So, not often you see me in overalls, but today I just don't want to deal with all the sparks everywhere. Pretty simple. We've got these LCAs, we've got the bolt holes where the caster arms go. We don't want to bugger with anything on the side. So what we're going to do, I don't have a paint pen, using black texture, it's not the best. But we're going to lop the factory lock stop off, easy enough, then we'll clean it up with flap disc afterwards. And then we're going to cut about here. Cutting there allows us to add something in the middle. For me, I'm only going small. I'm probably going to go 15 mil in there. See how I feel when I get to it. It'll either be 10 or 15 mil. So the same on both sides. I don't need to mark those. I know where it's going. The cross member. This is a bit of a challenging one. She's very dirty still. Once I cut it up, I'm going to clean it up again as well. But basically we're going to go down there, round, down, down. So, yeah. Again, I don't feel like I need to mark this one because I know where I'm going to cut it. But if we can get it to focus here, basically the rundown of it, yeah, up, around, down on this side of the bolt hole, down all around, and then my text is fighting my pocket. It's similar on the bottom side. Basically just going to cut it on both sides of those holes, cut a section out of the middle, and the aim here is to move it about 25-30 mils further forward. Once I have cut it, I'm going to chuck another rack. I've got a spare dummy rack I'm going to chuck onto it, and that'll allow me to know if it's even, that it's sitting right. Might actually chuck that on now, take a couple of measurements so I know actually how far I've moved this forward. I don't care. I just know I need to move it forward pretty damn far. That way it stops over centering. But yeah, might as well take the measurement. It doesn't help me in any way, but it gives you guys a bit of an idea of how far I've actually moved it. We'll get that on and then we'll start. There we have it. Old R34 rack of all things in there. So we'll go even point, half in the hole, half out. And that takes us to 94 mil pretty much. Same on this side. So it's not quite sitting even. That one's sitting about 93, which just tells me the rack's sitting in there a little bit twisted. I need to chuck some mounts on just so it actually sits in there properly, but that gives us a rough idea. So let's call that 94 mil. 94 mil base. Now let's get cutting. I am not excited for all this cutting. job one done. Cut the LCAs. Not too bad. Cuts probably aren't straight. Really should use a drop bandsaw. But end of the day, when I extend them, I'm just going to take measurements the whole way around. So even if the cut's not straight, it's still going to get extended. I'm going to go 15. Oh my God. Nah, we're going to go 10 mil. 10 mil is enough. 10, 15 mil. We'll see. I'm still undecided. But yeah, I'll measure the whole way around. So 4 or 5 different points there. Now to cut this bloody cross member up. I'm not going to bother filming this, as sparks are going to go everywhere. I'm going to change directions. I'll probably ruin the bloody lens doing it. After that, some knuckles. What a yuck job that is. Cutting out slits and slits. But it's done. As you can see there, it's a hell of a lot skinnier. I actually have a bit of overlap. I lift the steering rack up, I don't know what it'd work out to, probably 4 to 5 mil. Just how I've always done it. Don't know if there's a better way or not, or if that's how I should be doing it, but that's how it's staying. Little notch out in there. That's just so it can go a little bit further forward. And if we grab this ruler, similar to before, obviously it's not squared up, it's still sitting there. I still have to clean it up with the flap disc before I can start welding it. We're sitting at 64. So what's that? That is 30 mil further forward. So not bad at all. I'm happy with that. I don't feel like I need to make it any skinnier there. 30 mil is enough. Knuckles on the other hand, I just whipped the dust shields off. These Skyline knuckles are terrible. See that bloody big bit of casting there? That needs to come off. So before I can actually cut these up to modify them, I need to whip that off, both sides. And then what I do, cut the rack end off, or like the tie rod end pickup point off, so about there. And then chuck it in the jig, work out the measurement. I can't remember it off the top of my head. And I think it's about 10 or 20 mil out of there. Grind it down, clean her up, put her in a jig. As for how much you cut out, that's up to you. Obviously a shorter knuckle is going to give you more lock. The rack end position is going to be what designates your Ackerman. So it's pretty much, you need to play around with it, work out what you prefer. Ackerman being the comparative turning of both the wheels. Obviously there's a bit more science to what it actually is, but that's how the easiest way to describe it. I'm not going to play around and show you guys my jig too much. I'll show you when it's in there and when I'm tacking it up. Do need to run down the road actually and get some more gas. The knuckles being cast, definitely preheat them before you start welding them. Just makes it weld so much nicer. It lets the weld actually bake into it properly. But let's get everything cleaned up and start prepping for weld, I guess. I'll cut the knuckles up, show you how they're looking all cut up, and yeah, next steps we'll start to get the MIG out. Haven't used the MIG welder in a long time, so that'll be a bit of fun. By fun I mean messy and burn myself, but you deal with what you have to, eh? Have to clean the workbench off as well. That's a lot of metal dust. What a shit job this is. I hate cutting and grinding, but that section is all but done. See there, I've kind of just cleaned everything up. All the LCAs the same, little bits of plate to go over the top, little bits of plate to go underneath. Oh, there we are. So that'll go underneath, we'll measure, weld that in, weld that over the top, give it all the strength it needs. And the cross member's chilling in the way here, but you can see one knuckle in the jig here, bit of a gap around it, all cleaned up nice. I'm actually going to take this cross member outside, give it a hose off out there, clean up all this mess, give it a good sweep up, chuck everything else I don't need in the bin. Because at the moment I just feel like it's bloody disgusting. Everything I touch, my hands go black. It's terrible. Clean up, get myself set up, maybe do a couple of tack welds, go get some lunch, and get a bloody gas bottle for the torch as well, because I need to heat those knuckles up. Not too much, don't want to kill the bearings, just enough that it welds good. Damn close now. I've got part of the cross member chilling up here with the steering rack mounts on it. This is due to these front two. At the moment I've just got M10 bolts threaded through, the factory bolts just finger tight in the back, because once we get down here, we're not going to be able to get to the front two bolts. So they need to be tacked in from behind Nice and simple. Well, just a bit of weld in the back there into that dirty bloody metal, but it'll do the job. And yeah, then I can put it in there, weld it up, or tack it in the middle, put the steering rack in there, and make sure she's sitting central, because the last thing we want is it to be off, because that's just going to cause us all sorts of little steering issues. But we'll get that in there, tack it up, measure it up, and then go nuts with the welder and weld every bit together. The knuckles, before lunch I went and tack welded those up, so they're good to go. Wow, they need to be heated up and welded properly. And the LCAs, I think I'm going to meet myself in the middle and go about 12 mil. So again, easy enough to go. I'll show everything done in a minute, but for now I'm going to go nuts with the welding, measuring, put some music on and just chill out as I knock it all out. Got sent a bit of a care package the other day from GK Tech, and we need we need a few of the bits that are hiding away in here. Got some rack ends, some wheel nuts, but the big one, we've got front caster arms. So high clearance. Sorry, I got an excited little fella here. So we're going to use the factory arms, just measure the factory length, set them to that to begin with, till I get in the wheel alignment. And we've also, over here, somewhere there, we've got extended rack ends. Sorry. So I've gone and chucked it all back in. Some brand new steering rack bushes. Still got to replace that bugger up there. I'll probably do that one later on. But yeah, you can see there, she's nice and skinny now. The bolts I put up the bottom, nuts on the top, ended up being 32 mils that I moved it forward. Nice number, just enough clearance. But we got the problem where that wheel's not pointing in the right direction. You can see everything's on there down the bottom though. Still got a bloody sway bar, that's got to come off. And I hope the brake lines are long enough, but that wheel's not pointing in the right direction either. So we've got these extended tie rod ends from GK Tech. Actually got some more little bits out here as well. There they are. These little slip-on spacers, just to give us a little bit more travel from the rack. And obviously new tie rod ends, rack ends, whatever you bloody call those bits. I don't know. My words are gone. It's been a bloody hot day, just because of the welding more than anything. But we'll get the old ones out, get the new ones in, measure them up, and we can find out how much lock we actually have. Get this job all over and done with. But yeah, you can see this is the bit that'll catch you out at the end. Just going to go put it in, make sure everything's just a little bit longer, otherwise if you don't have it ready you're going to bugger your day up. I'm kind of done. Everything's, well, kind of back together. There's still a couple of things that are finger tight. Rack ends are cut down to length, wheels are back on. Now the moment of truth, I haven't played with this. I don't know how much lock we're going to have, but let's see. Oh, that's not bad. Wheel alignment's not 100%, but it's pretty bloody close, I reckon. That's a lot of lock. And this side, not too bad for the trailing. Yeah, nah, that's plenty. Plenty of lock. But yeah, no, we should be good with that. Let's see how we go back. Obviously, once it's on the ground, it's still got to dial it in, find out what the maxing points are, what's stopping it. That's good. That's what we want. That's going to be enough for a lot of fun. Brake line actually looks alright in there, from what I can tell. Yeah, no, it should be okay. That bloody sway bar. Need to get that out. Oh, what are we hitting? I need to get on the ground anyway. Oh well, that's me done and dusted. I'm happy. Feel bloody burnt in the face from yesterday, burnt in the arms from the MIG, but lock kit's done. Another step of the project done. As you can see there, not too bad to make, just very time consuming, a lot of cutting, welding, measuring. If you want to do it, I'm sure you can.